The story kicks off in a hospital room. Our protagonist wakes up completely disoriented. Before he can make sense of his surrounding, the nurse alarmed, "You're awake." Seeing the nurse in a very good way, he feels a sense of joy, saying, "Oh my god." Then the nurse ran to call the doctor. He tries to stop her, but his body refused. Overwhelmed by everything happening around him, he begins to wonder about himself. Am I hallucinating? What on earth is happening to me? Now a doctor came in and says not to move because your stitches are not removed. Your mobile was lost in the accident and your SIM is also missing. I asked people around the place, but no one knows about you. Then a nurse came to attend to him, saying slowly, "Lay back, I will take care of your wounds." But something else caught our protagonist's attention. He felt embarrassed, saying, "I'm okay." The nurse tries to convince him otherwise. He suddenly realized he had developed some kind of superpower, like X-ray vision. He also remembered that his college entrance exam was near, and his cousin might be worried about him if he did not go home. He told the nurse, "I have to leave." The nurse disagreed, insisting, "You still need several months for your wounds to be healed." The protagonist was shocked at the thought of being laid up for several months. "But next week is my college entrance exam," he protested. The nurse firmly replied, "Not before your wounds healed. You are not allowed to leave the hospital." At that moment, he noticed something unexpected and exclaimed, "Wow, 36 D cup and lingerie with black lace." The nurse was taken aback. She became shy when he realized what he meant and replied, "What did you see?" In the next scene, we see him get slapped by the nurse. But then our protagonist continues arguing about his desire to live. The doctor was concerned, saying that your wounds can become infected and leave long-lasting effects on your body. Our protagonist argued, saying, "I'm not fully recovered, but if I go home and have some rest, I will be okay." "Alright, I will speak to the director," the doctor said. Just then a lady entered the room, and everyone greeted her. The lady was Zheng Ryo, the CEO of Zheng's group. The doctor said to Zheng Ryo that this young man wants to leave the hospital. Zheng Ryo asked him why he wants to leave. He explains that his college entrance exam is coming up soon. She assures, saying, "You don't need to worry about it. You saved my daughter's life. Just stay here and recover. I will also give you some money in return." Our protagonist replied, "I don't want it, and I didn't intend to get anything from saving her." Zheng Ryo smirks and offered him $150,000. "If you stay here until you fully recover, you will receive this amount of money." She thinks to herself that no one can resist the allure of money. Even dignity can be bought at the right price. However, our protagonist replies, "I don't want it." Even the doctor and the nurse are taken aback by his refusal. Zheng Ryo increases the offer, saying $300,000, but he still remains uninterested. She thinks not enough for him. Well then, how about $705,000? Upon hearing this, the nurse nearly got a heart attack, saying, "Doctor, we need a doctor." After saying that, Zhang Ruo believes she is demonstrating the power of her wealth, confident that the protagonist will eventually accept the offer. Yet he approaches the nurse and asks, "Can I borrow $15 from you?" The nurse hands him $15. He then takes his shirt, strikes a heroic pose, and declares, "I'm Sha Tian, a chivalrous man and a good Samaritan." With a smirk and a confident stride, he leaves the hospital saying, "See you tomorrow," leaving everyone stunned and intrigued by his unwavering character. The story shifts to Zhenghai City, where our protagonist, Sha Tian, resides. He introduces himself, a 19 years old with a turbulent past. Having never known his mother, Sha Tian moved to his aunt's house after his father passed away when he was 14. After my cousin started going to college, she bought a house. Tian gives the calling bell but no one comes. She was thinking that is she not home? Then he gave the password and entered the room. Because my cousin was living on her own, my aunt told me to move to her house. My salary is only about $300 per month, which is just enough to get by. Although my aunt is wealthy, I never asked her for anything. My tuition fees are covered by my father's inheritance and I work part-time to support my spending. Then he opened a box. Inside was a letter and a necklace for him. In the letter, his father said, "If you are in a problem or get serious injuries, put this on. Your mother left this for you." I guess the car accident is also relevant, so he placed the necklace on him, and at the moment, a bright golden light appeared. Magically, his wounds healed. He was so happy and planned to take a shower. Then he ran for the bathroom. In the next scene, we see a girl, her name is Bing Shi, saying there is nothing like shower. She was a bit surprised, and then they both, Bing Shi and Tian, encountered each other face to face. Tian was shocked seeing a beautiful lady in his house. The girl was also embarrassed and screamed. Hearing that sound, Ye Qingshu came over and asked, "What happened at Bing Shi?" He saw that Shatian was lying on the floor with a footprint on his face. Now she says, "Stop screaming, Bing Jin, he's my cousin." Our protagonist is thinking in her mind how long I was out for. Suddenly he sees something out of the box and exclaims, "Doraemon." When Bingzi realizes it, she screams so loud that the whole earth shakes, and his cousin goes to beat him, saying, "You pervert, I will teach you a lesson." If you notice, Bingzi was running out of nowhere. Before she beat him with her punch, his power activated, and he saw some instruction flow into the air. By using the power, he was able to dodge every attack of her. But Bingzi comes from behind and grabs him with her hand, saying, "You are not going anywhere, Shatian." At that moment, his cousin tried to kick him in his weak point, but surprisingly, Shatian turned to Bingzi, and the kick hit her body instead. Then the next scene shifts and we see his cousin and Bingzi shouting on him, saying, "You never do this again, do you hear me?" And our Tian just ended up saying, yeah, it's all my fault. The story continues to the next morning. We see Tian running in the park and saying, "After being healed by the necklace, my body feels so refreshed. My body is much more lighter. I couldn't even do 20 push-ups. But now 100 push-ups in a row didn't faze me at the moment." There was an old man asking, "Have you ever served as a soldier?" He replied, "No, I haven't. I am only 19. The old man was impressed, having a good shape without military experience. Next, the old man asking, "Are you interested for sparring with me?" But he refused. The old man, "Are you afraid you might hurt me?" And then he shows his martial art, Tai Chi. The old man uses her hand and moved a big object, saying this is called Buddha's palm, and Tian was shocked. Then Tian agreed for the sparring. Tian go to punch him. The old man takes his pose and push him back, but he lands safely. He was thinking in his mind, this old man is the real deal. I have to kick his lower body. He tries to kick his leg, but the old man dodged. Again, Tian tries to punch him, but he defended it and land a fatal blow on his body and kick him back. Now he activates his ability. He sees some instruction floating on the air, and he uses 18 subduing dragon palms. The old man was a bit surprised, saying, "Oh, could it be the legendary move, the 18 subduing dragon palms?"